about line quality, we want to look at line quality, and a strong line quality is deep, clear, and unobstructed. There's no markings on it. There's no breaks on it. There's no little circles, and we'll look at them a little bit, bubbles on it. There's nothing impeding the energy of that line. So lines are like rivers in the body, and a river gets slowed down if there's like a lot of rocks or debris in it. Okay, generally you want lines in the hand to be nice and smooth. That means the energy of that line, whatever that line represents, is very strong, very clear, and everything's working just the way it should. Okay. So the positive qualities of the line emerge when the line is very nice and smooth and clear. Okay. So these lines are pretty clear. You look at the lifeline, very clear, nothing really impeding it. Headline, same thing, very clear, no breaks. Heartline, same thing, very clear. Very few lines for this. This actually looks a lot, it's kind of a fire shape hand, kind of a weird oblong, kind of a weird shape to the palm. And usually the pure fire line has very short fingers. And usually usually fire has a lot of lines in it. So this is a little bit different. So there's always rules are always broken in hands. You can learn the basics, but you're going to see change to that a lot of times. And you just have to kind of try and figure out, try different things and see what might be going on with a person. There's a story there to tell. Sometimes it takes a little bit of uncovering to get there. Okay. Again, another line with pretty good line quality. The lifeline looks very good. Very clear, the headline very clear. The heart line, it's got a little bit of stuff going on here, a little bit of armoring possibly here, doubling of the lines, but it's a very clear line that goes up towards the finger. Again, it's a curvy finger, so it's going to be a more expressive type person. Short fingers like this, short fingers, people tend to process things quicker. They get to the point much faster. So long people, the thoughts tend to get stuck here a little bit. Longer fingers, especially if they have knuckles. Knuckles will always slow down the thought process. But the shorter the finger, usually the quicker a person acts. If you combine that with a short headline, then a person is going to be super quick. They really come to decisions super fast. Okay. Okay, with poor line quality, the negative qualities of a line emerge. Messy headline, messy thinking, messy heart line, problems with their emotional life. Okay. Poor quality line. You can see how the lines here, well, if you look at the heart line, the top line that curves upward towards the fingers, you can see a lot of, especially towards the ulnar side, underneath the pinky finger, you can see a lot of stuff here, bubbles and crosses and X's and little bubbles in the line, and a lot of unclear emotional communications. A lot of it's in the intimacy zone, so there's going to be a lot of probably issues, especially because it has these X's here, a couple of X's it looks like, and that's a little bit of anger at your intimate partner. So a little bit of unclarity here in this upper heart line. Even the headline, if you look at the headline, especially where it starts, it's a little bit bumpy, not a very clear straight line. And if you look at the lifeline, you see how it's kind of widened out, and the widening is weakening of energy. Okay, thumb is kind of pushed up a little bit too closer than we like. We like to have the thumb ideally sitting a little bit wider from the fingers. So this is closer it gets to the fingers, the more you're under somebody else's thumb. You're not making decisions on your own. You're not making life happen. You want to get the thumb out. We're going to talk about this a little bit later for sure. Just try to stretch that thumb out. Okay, which looks a little bit uncomfortable there. Okay. And even start looking at the zones of the fingers themselves. You see the three zones. There's an upper zone where the tips are. And then you see a strong line that comes across, breaking to the next flange. You see the middle zone. And then the lower zone is the bottom line, just where the fingers exit the palm. And we want to look at those zones too and see how they compare. See which zone is longer than the other. Sometimes the zone will be much longer than another zone or much thicker. You can see how small the upper zones are compared to the lower zones. And we're going to talk about three-world interpretation in the hands. Probably in another class. We don't have time. We're going to talk about each zone, to each particular zone in the finger, what type of information that reveals, and just gives you a little bit more information on a person. And here's another portal line quality. You can see the heart line underneath the pinky finger, how the bubbles here, we call them chains, multiple chains. Very unclear here about their feelings, emotions. The headline's got a, you can see the bubble. If you go right down underneath the Saturn finger, the middle finger, you go straight down, you're going to see like a opening there, a bubbling underneath Saturn finger. And that usually has to do with career confusion. So maybe a little problems with job stuff. Okay, and then you can look at the lifeline, how it's really kind of petered out. It's a very short, and actually looks like it's actually might even be a little bit broken there. Very weak lifeline. And look at the connection between the lifeline and the headline. And there's a pretty long connection there. And that's a connection to family, your original family. And so when making decisions, you're a little bit more cautious. You usually want to check with your family before you make a decision on your own. Where separation here between the lifeline and the headline is more of an independence of thought. You're coming to decisions on your own. Okay. It's always good to look at.